But let's go ahead and get started. The big news of the day, something I'm very excited about. Elon Musk buys Twitter just outright, just buys the entire platform. And this has been building for the whole month, basically the whole month of April. I remember people talking about how this could have been just an April Fool's joke. Twitter, Elon Musk wanted to buy Twitter. Yeah, totally, whatever, sure. But no, it turns out that he was 100% into it, was determined to make it happen, and went through and bought Twitter today. And I think this is overall, it's very exciting. The reason why it's exciting is that there's so many good possibilities. Having one specific owner, it does have a little bit of there's somebody that can come in, shake things up, and then maybe send it public again. Something like that. But there's a little bit of unknown. But with the way Elon Musk has been talking about this deal, I'm so excited about it because he's already brought back certain personalities that have been canceled from the platform. So, for example, Tucker Carlson. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Tucker, but Tucker was banned from Twitter. Well, his account's already back up, and Elon's only owned the company for where are we at? 4 hours, 5 hours. So it's crazy. That's crazy. All of a sudden, all these accounts that were deleted or suspended are now back up. And I'm still waiting to see some of the more controversial ones. The Milo Yiannopoulos, Alex Jones. I'm still waiting to see those ones come back, which I think will happen over time. But there is some exciting stuff going on right now because Elon Musk has bought Twitter. I think it's great that you're seeing this happen because right now social media is completely run by the left wing. It's completely owned and operated and controlled by people with one particular narrative. When it came to Twitter, I think Twitter was the most egregious actor in all of this when it came to the 2020 election. We now know that the Hunter Biden laptop was 100% accurate. Almost everything on there has been confirmed as accurate. Well, that news report was stifled and shut down by Twitter. Twitter is the reason why nobody ran with it. Why that story kept getting blocked by news organizations and kept getting scrutinized so much more than anything about Trump would have. But it was completely scrutinized, and now we know, based on polling data that's been done repeatedly over the last 2 years, that 30%, I think it was 30%, I'd have to look that up again, but I do know there's a solid percentage of people who voted for Joe Biden that would have at least not voted for him, and possibly would have switched over to Trump if they had known what was on that laptop. So I'm looking at this saying Twitter is it was probably the one that needed to be overhauled the most out of all of them. Some people say Facebook, and I'm on Facebook, but I've gotten to the point where Facebook is mostly just to keep in touch with people my generation, like my old high school and college friends, because Facebook came out right after I graduated from high school, when I was still in college. The last couple years I was in college, so I still stay on there to kind of keep in touch with those people. And, my parents are older, so I can keep in touch with them. Same thing with like aunts and uncles and stuff. They're all on Facebook. I know I can get in touch with them more on Facebook than I can any other platform. So it's mostly there. Also, their live streaming is a lot better. So if I want to, for example, the last couple of elections, I've gone live on my Facebook page to kind of talk to my friends. It's a bit more interactive for me because they know me personally. They've seen me, we've talked, we've had conversations within the last couple of years usually. So they feel more interactive that way. And that's mostly why I keep it, to keep in touch with old friends. But Twitter, as far as a news outlet, it really is, you get all the news just so quickly. And you get updated so quickly that it's there for you. And I think that platform specifically is the best platform for a huge shakeup to come around and really promote the free speech aspect of it. So I'm so excited about Elon Musk buying it because of the possibilities. However, I do want to temper anybody who's too excited about this. I have no assumptions that Elon Musk is going to come in and really change anything. I mean, there have been some cool changes today, and that's great and all. I've seen people out there posting all the stuff that would have got them banned over the last, 2 years, about COVID. They've gone through and decided, oh, I'm going to post this about COVID and that about COVID. I'm not going to repeat that stuff because I'm still going to be posting this to YouTube, and I don't want to get banned from YouTube. So, but yeah, you can go on Twitter and you can find all the people posting things about, hydroxy, the rest of the word, and Ivor, the rest of the word. So, posting all that stuff. They've talked about certain, their beliefs about the outcome of the 2020 election and how free and how fair that election was. They've made their opinions known today. So you can see that all over Twitter today, and nothing's been shut down. No one's been suspended or anything like that for those statements. So it's a really exciting time for Twitter. I'm under no, assumption that it's going to change all that much. But in the short term, it looks good. However, just like any politician, I don't trust billionaires the same way I don't trust politicians. These people have their own unique, desires and what they want to accomplish, and they usually don't involve me. They usually are in some ways to try to get more of my money. So when it comes to billionaire tech moguls or billionaires in general, and especially politicians, I don't trust them ever. You never trust them. However, I'm going to trust a guy who actually built something to become a billionaire rather than someone who just spouts platitudes, every 6 years just so that he or she can get reelected. So I definitely trust a billionaire more than I trust a politician. But yeah, I'm not going to assume that Elon has my best interests at heart. So I'm still going to, like I said, when Trump got elected in 2016, I'm still going to hold his feet to the fire because I don't really trust him. We'll see how he does. Well, it's the same thing with Elon buying Twitter. I'm still going to expect that he is promoting free speech values. Obviously, I don't want violence and harassment happening on Twitter. However, those things are illegal. So, how would you let the police take care of it? So that's my take on that. But going along with that, remember, with Elon buying Twitter, that immediately opens up, are they going to bring Trump back? That's what everybody thinks is going to happen. Trump is going to come back to Twitter, and the left is going to melt down, which if Elon does nothing else, watching the left wing just freak the fuck out over these next few days, that's totally worth it for me. I mean, that's worth the price of admission as far as I'm concerned. But as far as Trump goes, Trump has released a statement on whether or not he'll return to Twitter. And he said he's not going back to Twitter. He's going to try to stick with Truth Social, which really hasn't worked out as well as he'd hoped, and probably as well as a lot of us had hoped. I haven't created a profile on Truth Social because I wanted to see if it was actually going to start up, and so many people were like, yeah, I registered for an account and my account's still not up yet. It's been a week and it's been a long time. And I don't see how that's going to work out. I think Twitter's probably going to be the best option. So I think over time, you're going to see Trump realize, okay, I've got to go back to Twitter because Twitter is now available to me and I can use it as a platform. Also, if he plans on running for president, he's going to need some sort of social media outlet that he can put his thoughts out to the country. And I think if you want to talk about 4D chess, I think Elon Musk should say, hey, Donald Trump, you're back on Twitter, go ahead. Because I actually think Donald Trump being banned from all these social media outlets has actually helped his public image and has actually helped him over the last couple of years. Because yeah, with Trump, you get a lot of good stuff. His Twitter was great. But when it comes to president stuff, like, there's a lot of bad stuff, and that's why he lost the election, is because there was just so much bad stuff. So I think if this is a 4D chess move and Trump jumps back on Twitter, that might actually just end up hurting him, which, you know, paves the way for a different Republican to come in later. So that could be the case. I don't know, but as of right now, it looks like Trump is not going to be jumping back on Twitter, but I think eventually he's going to have to. He's going to have to own it because Truth Social is not really working out. No other social media site is going to let him back on. Except for Twitter at this point. Twitter is where he got most of his follows and most of his free publicity anyway. So that's where he really should go, is back to Twitter. And, you know, we'll see how it goes. I think, like I said, I just want Trump back on Twitter so that I can see the left just melt down some more. You've already had some, I think Sean King, you know, Talcum X, he deleted his Twitter account, which, I mean, you know, white people can be so dramatic. I don't understand. But